Hola!
Hola!
Well, we are back to just kind of give an update. And we decided,
Greg and Lisa.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Hi. Yes. I'm Greg. This is my beautiful wife.
Lisa.
Yes, and I'm her husband. So what was I saying? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think in our last video, we said we were going to do like, a 300-hour update. But then we kind of realized that we are both at different levels. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it would be impossible to do that because we're kind of at different places. So we figured we were just going to do an update once a month. And this is the update for this month. And so how many hours are you at?
I'm at 231. And I think the last time we made a video, I was like 170. We had about 4 days or so where we were on, well, I don't know if it was vacation, but we went to go visit my brother. So we didn't really have a chance to watch hardly anything. Mm-hmm. So I'm at 231 at the moment. So still on intermediate, level 3, 231.
Yeah, I'm at 281. So, and I'm on level 3 intermediate as well. So that's where we are, and we figured we would kind of give you an update since our last video. So did you want to kind of share what's happening?
Yeah, just some things that we've been feeling and noticing as we're progressing. So we dived into the intermediate videos right around that 150-hour range. And I would say, and I've heard other people say this, that the beginner to intermediate is a huge jump. And then from intermediate to advanced, we don't 100% know, but we heard it's easier. But from what I've experienced, beginner to intermediate was pretty difficult. It was like, whoa, this was like, wow, hard to understand. And then, but I would say if I had to pinpoint it, I would say somewhere around 210 hours is where things just started to click. And all of a sudden, I'm watching and I'm starting to get 80% of it. And, maybe 1 or 2 is even 90%. So, but I do find that, and me and someone else in our previous video in the chat, we were talking about how there are some times where you will watch a video in the same, intermediate grouping, and you got it, like 80 or 90% of it. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is like so easy. I can't believe this is happening. And then maybe it'll happen again for the next video. Maybe even happens for that day. But then all of a sudden the next day you're like 30%, 40%, 20%. It's funny how it feels that way. And like she was mentioning that it's the same, it could be the same teacher and, same intermediate level or whatever. But it's funny how that happens.
Yeah.
But that's what I've been noticing a lot. So some days really great. Some days it's all going over my head.
And that's kind of the difference between us because I don't really know when it started to click, like what number. But I can say I do have a bit of good news or exciting thing to report. I actually had a dream in Spanish, which was weird. And what's weird, I guess, is right now I don't even remember like the words that I said in Spanish, but I do remember what happened. We were in a store and the guy that worked behind the counter didn't speak English. And then I just told him in Spanish that it's okay, I can understand Spanish. So just go ahead and tell me in Spanish. And he did, and I replied. And so that was awesome. But then that was it. It never happened again. So, but but maybe it will. So anyway, but one thing that I did realize is when we were on our little vacation is that I was actually having a conversation with some people in our family, and I just stopped and I was listening, and I realized that I wasn't like translating all of the words that they were saying in English. I was just understanding the concept and understanding the meaning of the entire conversation. So I don't know, that was just an eye-opener for me. And so what I started to do when I got back is I tried to kind of duplicate that same feeling. So I started just actually listening to the words that the presenter was saying in the Dreaming Spanish videos, as opposed to before. I was kind of like, I don't know, it was weird. I was like kind of delayed. Like I was trying to pick out a word that I knew, and then if I knew that word, it was great. But then by then, Pablo was already like 10 more words ahead, so I was always just kind of behind. So I just wasn't really getting the entire video. So once I started actually just listening to the words that they were saying and not trying to understand like exactly what each word was, I actually started to understand more of what was happening. So that was a pretty interesting thing that happened to me. So
I think sometimes one of the things that I wanted to share that I think we both feel, and I'm sure maybe some of you feel or even wonder, is do we all like 100% concentrate on that video? Because I can honestly say there are times where I'm in and out. I'm in and out of consciousness. And, it's not good, but it happens. And it's okay that it happens, obviously, because I know I'm still learning. But yeah, that happens. We start thinking about what's for dinner or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Or I start falling asleep or whatever, But yeah, those things happen. But I'm trying to be more conscious and aware.
Present.
That's fine. That's good. So trying to be more present. So we've actually been trying to, it's been kind of exciting on this channel. We just kind of started this channel because we wanted to build a little bit of a community for Dreaming Spanish or Comprehensible Input. And some of you have, subscribed to the channel, which is awesome. You like some of the videos. So it really kind of motivates us to think of other things that we can do to kind of keep developing content and building. So, feel free to, if you have any like suggestions on something that you like us to talk about or pay attention to in the videos we're watching, and give our thoughts on it, that'd be awesome. You can just put that in the comments down below. But we're not going to take too much time here today. We just wanted to hop on, give a quick update. And I would say the bottom line is we're still progressing. I keep thinking, yes.
Well, we did want to give one suggestion about the lists.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but I just wanted to you just made me lose my thought.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So anyway, but yeah, so a couple things. Since I already talked about this, feel free to like, subscribe, all of those things. We just want to kind of put more of it out there so we can get more people to contribute, because it's always fun to meet somebody who's doing the same thing that we're doing. And then something that's really cool that you probably already know this, but if you don't, what we found out is that, or what we realized is, when you're watching the videos on Dreaming Spanish, you can add them to a list to view later.
Yeah, if you're looking at the page itself, you're on the Dreaming Spanish, you logged in, whether you have premium or not, doesn't matter. If you're logged in and it has the video, and on the left-hand side, it's going to have watch and series and a couple of progress, and the last one says list. And we just realized,
That's good.
Yeah, we just realized that was even there.
Yeah.
And I think what we decided we were going to use it for, which I guess you could create a list for whatever, but we're going to create a list because there's not enough videos to push us through to the advanced. So we're going to, the ones that like there was one by Sandra where she was talking about intuition, and it sounded super interesting, but I didn't understand the entire video. Mm-hmm. But I want to understand that entire video. So I actually saved that to the list, because when I've listened much longer, I want to go back and see if I can understand it.
Yeah, exactly. So it was one worth understanding. So I have probably about 7 or 8 of those that I added to the list. So check that out. That's a pretty cool feature to have. Also, we're going to be just a couple of videos that we're thinking of coming up with. One is just kind of, I guess, the dilemma of translating. What is translating words? Things like that. I've actually had a couple conversations with some people from Dreaming Spanish, or a couple email communications with them. So we'll share a little bit of that, and then we are always looking for more resources. other things that we can watch outside of the Dreaming Spanish platform. So we have a couple suggestions on that, and of course we welcome your suggestions. So I think that's it. Did we leave
I think
anything?
that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, it was good talking to you, and happy comprehensible inputting, and enjoy the rest of your day. Hasta luego.